You might not be able to buy a condo either.
What's wrong with that? You know, go and enjoy a nice apartment in an older building where there's rent control and live there for 30 years and live a good life. What's wrong with that?
You know? The dream is a lie and it's a scam and it's been unmasked. It's like,
I don't think so. I don't think it's a scam. We got people moving here from other countries. Our guest from a couple of weeks ago, and he was able to do it. Our hopeful guest today. You know, people come from all over the world and they just start buying real estate. Guess what? Why are they different from anybody else? So I'm not saying like shame on you for not doing it. If your dream is to buy real estate, find a way to do it. If your dream is to help people and be a nurse and that, you know, that's all your focus is, and that, you know, you're single income and yada, 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 and you got 3 kids, you may not be able to buy a house, you know, and maybe, you know, and
you might not be able to buy a condo either.
What's wrong with that? You know, go and enjoy a nice apartment in an older building where there's rent control and live there for 30 years and live a good life. What's wrong with that?
You can't get the rent control is only in effect as long as the person that's living there is living there. But the minute that they leave, they get to set the market rent again. And so a new family coming here that needs 3 bedrooms, good fucking luck, unless you have money. But then if you have money, why the fuck do you want to rent a 3-bedroom in some fakakta building somewhere? It's a real screw up. And on top of the real screw up, TK, is we're seeing articles come out this week from some pretty important players saying it's not enough. Ontario, Canada, it's not enough. You're not incentivizing enough building. The building permits are plummeting, and we need more housing.
Plummeting is not the word.
Well, 10% month over month.
But that's from last month. They said that January was one of the best months ever recorded since 1990 for housing starts.
For housing starts from permits that were given when?
Well, I don't have all those numbers, Darryl, but the bottom line is
I don't think that
I believe we're building more now than ever before, and that they are increasing the amount of
supply. Maybe it's spread out more.
But unfortunately, it's not enough. And unfortunately, they're never going to reach those targets. But multi-units are becoming more common now, and that there needs to be some incentives to be able to make this work. I mean, we've been talking about this now for how long?
Forever. But that's the thing, is they keep so what I'm noticing now in my experience is that planning is actually trying to get more units out into the system. And they're trying to come up with more ways to help the developers and to make it a little easier. But planning is but one department in the beast. And the rest of the departments seem to have found lots of ways to figure out how to slow the process down again.
Yeah.
And so we end up in maybe even worse than before, because like we've talked about, we've got projects that are kind of on hold because they can't launch because sales aren't there. But we've also got projects that have been put on hold so that they can redevelop them and get more density. And what we've also seen is a lot of bankruptcies from the environment that have taken future stock off of the market, right? And so we've got all these factors that, while they're trying to get more on the market, everything going on right now is actually decreasing the amount of inventory coming on the market sooner. It might increase the amount of inventory that can come on each parcel of land, but it's pushing it out even further. And then
if we've got housing starts though that are still near record highs for the month of January since 1990, I don't agree with that entirely. I'm not saying it's not true that there's going to be slowdowns and that we could be getting double what we're doing. But I still think that there's a lot of people who are using the tools in order to be able to create more housing. I mean, that's what the housing starts show, in my opinion.
Sure. And so while they're trying to incentivize purpose-built rentals, I don't know that we're seeing much more of that coming online.
I know.
Right. And I don't think that the incentives have been enough to really spur on much growth, if any. So we have like a serious problem that's actually getting worse, while seemingly the articles and even probably the experiences of other developers, like I know I've experienced dealing with planning and it seems to be much better now. But then It's the outside stuff. A lot of people are really bitching about this hydrant flow test right now. If you just take my site into consideration with this one stupid test that just can't be done right now till April, or you can't even book it until April for some reason. They can't even have a booking department there. I'm ready to apply. Okay. So now I'm just sitting around waiting, and my interest doesn't sit around and wait. Right. So just by sitting around for 3 months, do you understand what that does to the bottom line? And so where does that go? Right. Because at the end of the day, we're all fighting for some kind of a margin, some kind of a yield on our projects for our investors, like any rental unit, like any unit coming on the market. Like how does it work when the city, and this is just one thing that literally is going to add 300 grand or take away $300,000 from the project, right? That's just one thing. And then if you add all kinds of other stupidities onto things, the amount of money spent that could be used in so many better ways is just like poof into the ether. And it's crazy.
But I think you're, because you're dealing with it right now, you're like, everybody's got this water flow test issue. But like, I'm sure that there's plenty of guys who are still doing a ton of planning, and that they're not all in the same position as you, where they're like 100% done and just waiting on this water flow test. I'm sure there's a few guys, and you can find them and you can talk to them, but like, I think it maybe just feels that way.
Well, but okay,
when you look around.
But assuming it's not just me, and that it's just affecting a few other people that also had similar circumstances, which they just shut down bookings in November. Okay. And then they don't open up again until April. So, I mean, imagine how many other people could be in the similar situation. How many hundreds, if not thousands of units are just waiting.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.